Next out on track, the Car Care Clinic, Triple Ones and Sports and GTs. Bob Neal, great to see you back on the track, and I'm sure you're looking forward to 2023.
Yeah, absolutely. I had a few issues last year, and we'll take it easy the first race out, but Lee's doing a great job.
And the secret in Triple One's not to break out, I presume?
Indeed, but I don't think there's any chance of that this weekend.
Okay. Mel Spur, bit of a change up for you from Super H to Triple Ones. How are you finding it?
Well, it's the same car, so there's not really too much difference in the car, and thankfully Zwartkops didn't change any of the corners since the last race in November.
The heavy surface, by the way, we haven't mentioned that yet.
Well, it's fantastic, and I was fortunate enough to drive at the International, so I know it's in great nick as always. No, it's just, for me, racing's an absolute hobby. I'm here to have fun. It's an away game, so we're here for fun, and Vota ends up babysitting me for the weekend. I'm going to go have fun, hopefully take home some silverware, and it's always great being back here.
There's also great news that Vota Rosa's car is still in one piece before the first race, Vota.
You stole my thunder, Dave. I wanted to say that we've had 2 sessions so far and Bob's Ford hasn't broken yet. But yes, the car's in one piece, it's going very well. It's nice to have Mel in Triple One. Eventually everybody graduates to high school. It took her 21 years in Super Cup, in Super Hatch, but very welcome.
Well guys, good luck, and of course, well done to Car Care Clinic, staying in for this year with Triple Ones. We look forward to that as well. Have a great showing out there, and give us a wave when you go out on your warm-up lap.
Cheers, guys.
Ciao.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay.
Not right now, Mel. Wait till you get in the car. So there we go. The waves are all out of the way. Car Care Clinic has made their way into the circuit with Triple One GD Sports and Saloons, and the GD class led out by George Economides in his Wealth Avenue Golf 1 Turbo. He's alongside Bob Neal for the front row, and there you can see a big field coming through there. Bob Neal just making his way to the front end. He was a little bit late out of the pre-race area, so he's going to have to try and get to the front by the end of this race, the end of this lap, that's for sure. 2 laps under safety car. Neal will be trying to get through the field as rapidly as possible to take up his position at the front end. Behind him will be Leonard Archer, pushing hard in the ACD Welcome Honda Civic, and alongside him will be JP van der Walt in his Platinum Wheels Audi A4. Behind that we've got Wouter Roos, as we heard, and Louis Kluti alongside each other, and that's of course a very, very hot Beetle. There it is, the ARC Beetle, alongside the Car Care Clinic Golf. That's going to be some fun and games between the two of them. Pretoria Note Toyota's Lexus behind that will be piloted by Lucas Besaidnote, the big boss of Pretoria Note Toyota. Great to have him here. And we've got, of course, the likes of Francois Henning, Pete Portgieter, Johan van der Vyper in the Subaru Works STI. Charles Veyers will be there as well. He'll be pushing hard to try and get through in his Opel Corsa. And then we've got a whole bunch of the usual contenders. They have got into their race positions and are about to start the first heat, and 8 laps of it coming away for Triple One Sports and Saloons and the Sports and GT category. Lights are on, rolling start, lights out, and we go racing down towards one. Here is Bob Neal on the inside line. It's normally the better line to be on in a rolling start. The team was able to capitalise on that. But the paper slightly back there in the Subaru, and Neal hits the front. Bob Neal with a big move from Leonard Archer, getting up to third place, outgunning Louis Kluti in the Beetle. And then he's got the Audi right on his tail, and in fact looks like a little bit of problems for JP van der Walt as he goes side by side with Wouter Roos onto that back straightaway. Looks like Roos might have had the slightly better line he has, and moves the Car Care Clinic machine up into what is now 4th place behind him. You can see Lucas Besaidnote coming along for the ride, Henning behind that. They line up thick and fast. Nice start there from Labotsky as well. Looking forward to seeing his progress through the field. There is Louis Scholz, the big boss of Car Care Clinic. Not in his usual Golf 8. Unfortunately, some problems on that car. He had to jump into his Super Hatch car and use it for this race as well. So he'll be fighting hard there with the normal field of Honda Civics and Mazdas involved in the mid-pack of the Triple Ones. Looking for a chance now to be at the front end of Triple One if he can. That is what his goal is to do here. Get as high in that Triple One field as possible. They come to complete the first lap of anger of the 8 provided for this one. See, they're all just slotting in positions there at this stage, looking for chances where they can. Louis Kluti, back end of the GT class, front end of the Triple One class, Class A, is Wouter Roos. So So Zwartkops just losing out to another one of the GT category cars. That's JP van der Walt in the Platinum Wheels Audi. So Zwartkops currently leads out Class A. He's pulling away there from Lucas Besaidenote in the Pretoria Noord Lexus. So that Pretoria Noord Toyota. There's a move back at JP. JP van der Walt going into really retro colours on that car, which is nice to see. He was in all white in that A4 the first time he put it onto the track, and he's now gone back to the original colours of the race team that Terry Moss had in the sort of early 2000s. The Extreme, the Engine Extreme Oils, of course, sponsored that team, and he's gone with that livery for that car as well as JP. Even though his own sponsor is Platinum Wheels, it's great to see the old colours of the Engine Extreme team back on track. Roland Hopkins having a bit of a fun day of it so far. He's got him far on his tail, looking for a chance to get through there. Labotsky keeps out this pack as the Corsa comes into play. See Charles Veyers putting the pressure on there. A little bit of pressure being put on in the background as Michael Krubler goes past in his Golf 1, trying to get onto the back of Mdidi Mfana. Veyers now pushing hard in the open Corsa, down there. The Performance Masters machine under pressure. Oh, there you go, Mal Spur, welcome to high school. They're bullying Mal Spur in the high school class here. Drops right to the back. Oh, problems as well for the MX-5 by the looks of it as well. That's not good. Yorick Smith in that MX-5 on the sideline. Mal Spur is back on track. Colours on the front end of that car, and you've got us all around. Design Hub have done some work on that machine to give us some new livery. Still car care. Nicely done. Just want to see who this is a nice start there as well for this timeout for the front end. But I can tell you something, there is going to be some work there for Mal Spur. So, some work here for Bob Neal. He's got pressure at the front end coming in the form of George Economidis. Third place panel heating up. As we see Louis Cloutey diving through there in a very fast Beetle. Stock standard Beetle, by the way. Heading towards turn number 2. Under pressure there from the man from Welkom. So the ACD Welkom Honda Civic not quite having his own way. To the back straight away. Also looking for a chance there to come through. A couple of the back markers about to be caught by the leading pack, and Bob Neal hangs on to the lead. He's got Economidis on his tail. The Wealth Avenue Golf in Martini Racing colours, trying to find a way through there on Bob Neal's Ford Focus RS. As they head to the top of the hill, there's a change up possibly here between the Golf and the Ford, yes. So a slightly bit of line there from Economidis coming out of turn 4, and he makes it stick up into turn 5. I think Didi Machila is coming up to catch, being caught here. Or is that possibly Governor? I'm not quite sure. The two leaders now coming up, and Bob Neal's on the inside, and he's got through already before they even had to worry about problems. Economidis pulling in the pit lane. Economidis with a problem in the pit lane. That's going to move Leonard Archer up into second, or possibly JP, as JP's got slightly better drive down the main straightaway. Has he got the line for turn 1? He has. JP van der Walt moves to second place. Leonard Archer down to third as they came under turn 1. Closing on Bob Neal. Cloutey in the background, looking to close onto the back end of that little Honda Civic Type R as well, if he can. Not always easy to do. Labotsky in with a fight of note here. And Wayne Masters is giving him a run for his money. Charles is just behind them. So it's Golf 1 versus Golf 7 versus the Opel Corsa. Yorick Smith eventually pulling to the inside of turn 1 there, out of harm's way in the Mazda MX-5. Saw him on the outside of turn 8. He just pushed that car along the main straightaway and then just turned off to get off the track as quickly as possible. We saw Pete Potgieter going through there for Nathan's Motorsport. He's in the Rocky car, remember? He's got the Rocky livery on the side of that car. This is Van der Pfeiffer, the Subaru, currently sitting at this stage in 9th place overall, but that would put him in about 5th or 6th place in Class A. Class A heating up here dramatically at the front end. Zwartkops still leading that Class A battle out. He's sitting in 5th place, just behind Louis Cloutey in the Beetle. Looks like he's got a bit of a gap though over the rest of the Class A competitors, including Lucas Besaidenote in the Pretoria Noord Toyota. Lexus, in fact, that Lexus has closed down slightly on Zwartkops as we come to that battle towards turn 1. So it's Zwartkops hanging on. Besaidenote applying the pressure behind him for Pretoria Noord Racing, and that Lexus is all over the back of the car care clinic man. Behind them, lining up in the form, I think, of Francois Henning and Piet Potgieter. Well, hello, having a look at the lap times as well. I wasn't watching that, but Paul Bedford was there. He was watching it for me there. And as always, checking on the timing monitor for me. So it looks like Lucas Versailles might have broken out. He's done a 1:10 in Class A, which of course is too fast for Class A. You have to be doing 1:11s around this track. That's why it's known as triple ones. And unfortunately, that is going to cost him. He's going to be given a penalty of some nature. And it'll drop him out of the top 2 positions for triple one Sports and Saloons. Bob Neal now under pressure. Not from George Economides anymore. He's had to retire that car of his. But now from JP van der Walt. JP van der Walt, the man who was king of the hill in the road car category at NISLA last year, is certainly using this new Audi of his to very good effect to close in on a man who's been at the front end of this GT Sports and Saloon car category for a while. So it's ex-production cars going at it here. The RS would have been in Class T in its day, and Audi would have been in Class A in production cars. So it's production car battle of note heading towards turn 5 in amongst the back markers, and up for the challenge comes Leonard Archer in the Honda Type R. So Delmon Mining versus the Engine Extreme colours, but Platinum Wheels sponsored Audi, and then ACD Velcom in third. Porsche battle, it's a nice one to watch out for as well there in the mid-pack. It's got Roland Hopkins on his tail, and the Porsche having a bit of a tough time of it at this point in time. Chris Smith at the wheel of that machine. Behind Wayne Labotsky in the Shield Golf. Michael Krobler on their tail in the Pest Control Specialist Golf 1. Fluffy's on his way, that is for sure. Gideon Fana being caught now by Gunnison by the looks of it. So it looks like some manoeuvres happening through that field for the Hondas. Great mid-pack battles here as well for our Triple One and GT Sports and Saloons combined. Down the hill comes Charles Bay as he's pulled away now from the Labotsky machine at Shield Golf 1. Smith, Hopkins and Krobler. Getting another lap in anger. We're on to the final lap here, guys. So in the background we're going to have to keep an eye out on our leaders. The last lap has started for them. They're halfway up the road, I'm sure. And we're looking for Bob Neal. He's our lead car the last time we saw him at the front end. And heading towards, problems for Labotsky. Labotsky going on the inside line there. Looks like he might have just missed a gear. Yeah, I think he just missed a gear. Heading towards out of turn 2. This is Wayne Masters closing on the back end of Van der Pfeiffer, but I don't think he's going to be able to do anything about them. And looking for the leaders. They should be heading probably down the hill by now. So we're waiting for our top 3 to come flying down there. Has JP van der Walt been able to find a way past? Coming to the line, checking flag is out. Checking flag is out. Bob Neal taking the victory over JP van der Walt and Leonard Archer. So your top 3 there in the GT class. Bob Neal, JP van der Walt. Good run coming out of Leonard Archer. There you see the 3 of them down that back straightaway. Val Spur just behind them there for the Car Care Clinic team. I think Louis Coetzee would have finished up just ahead. Yes, he has, and I'm not sure if Vota won out in Class A. We'll have to wait for him to flip out there. Lucas Versailles beats Vota Rus, but I think Vota might have had some communication to say that Lucas has broken out. So Vota will still get the victory ahead of Francois Henning and Piet Potgieter. That'll be your top 3. So Rus, Henning and Potgieter your top 3 in Class A. It's Neal, Van der Walt and Archer your top 3 in the GT category. As we wrap up the first heat of Car Care Clinic's category today. Triple Ones and the GT Sports and Saloons.
What an absolute dice with Lucas. This was an incredibly entertaining race, let me put it that way. Well, congratulations to Lucas. He outdrove me in the last couple of laps, but we had an incredible amount of fun without ever touching.
Yeah, just had a great first race. Started second on the grid, ended up first. Touch and go, but it was a good race.